everybody. I would say everybody. And everybody to enhance your entertainment. Hopefully, we will change melodies and have all sorts of melodies. And if anybody wants to ask a question, that's fine with me. Let's see. Let's say the Wheeler of Myth is called. The hours fertilize another time and place in which the stoic agencies did face so bitter cold. The dynasties of old had left us not a trace to contemplate, or alongside dirt roads to nowhere resituate three shelters from the hollowest of evening's beating drums. And there came from the flame neither smoke nor fertile ground, where within your deed remembered with the fluted chord of weeping. The night sky of stars that still echoed throughout the morning whispered cries asking why did you not descend with lighted lamp the august stairs, nor illustrate with oil paintings registered complaints, colder to the touch than irresolute with idle pasture chalk, skies of blue. The string of pearls labyrinthine you once knew, for only friend the Caliban or Narcissus, unmarried voyaging west to whatever frontiers suit you best, a bittersweet by truck nor train, and our drumming fleet rushing fast of feet, and beware and stockyard prayer that introspects with blank ideology, the finite impregnated by and through infinity. Me or you would bittersweet with blemished tea upon a silk-gilded tray, the lost as found, the potted as wood versing prose. What wisdom knows without pretense of experience, nor proverb with no curtaining with freedom, sword nor fence, the vaster plains that once long ago, in between with which is three atrocities, and the mythologizer of the wing that awaits heaven's nights, returned with your metaphors would, if it weren't but for this earliest light nearing morning, veil all you say, whereas your similes might frustrate without warnings, as would bees returning to the hive, bittersweet mustards reconciling word with deed. And from here we'll proceed and see if I don't know, I just gotta, so you got here. Okay, this would be, take this to, let's see, let's see now. I'll gather thoughts beneath burning lamps that seem as if they might hear with the light so near to heaven, the choir galleries 11 seers, and watch me draw the curtains as the breeze brushes in their lace. Soon the passing moon above all will luminous wreathe my face with that the bishop 3 atrocities of love on the plateaus that know the dove, and the gods of a warred and theoretically unprescribed gate, who, sending into brief exiles the night last, and there within found unpredicated places, and animate as well as inanimate things, that have encompassed the luminous spheres. Luminous spheres, these very same acts with wanting fluid fundamentalities, pre-existing any and all root word agencies, knowing a soluble alchemy. Vintage too, and that from the farmed out, sweeping, orchestrated reeds, as well as wept over percussions, that meeting the first and second at the bridge linking each, prefigure the noonday eclipse, always seeming to await, without amendments, the eye of the approaching train of following thoughts. Algebraic magnetisms enumerated the following morning, numeral structures affixed to any and all letter number of velocities, which had up until then made into a conjunctive unity, a little bit of influence from Wittgenstein there, I suppose. And then good old early linguist Wittgenstein. Lived with Wittgenstein, a genius that he was. And I'm not sharing like something. That was before that strange and here he is right here. This morning, a new chaos out of Wittgenstein parallels, as if algebra were a component carburetor attached to its parent engine, contriving the higher maths. No, none the longer. There it was more so fluid width and breadth, cross-roading into opposites, the vertical and the horizontal, fusing the first and the second in unison, was the line of Machiavellian scrimmage accorded the 7th, 8th square in the essence of each chess game's drift or sway, or was chess accorded the line of scrimmage in the castling of the king with the rook. If the legislative diameters conducive to extended measure reflect, as when principal induction and deduction impregnate one another, similar in a certain light to the way time is space, just as much as space is time, then one would not define any characteristics harmonious and lead with the other. Boundaries must motivate, as line of scrimmage as well as boundaries. Any numerical game of man-made stratagems. And then the man who was guarding the city gate said haltingly, to a newborn believer of Christian doctrines that didn't uneasily coexist with their contradictory addressing rules of measure. What's keeper of these gates? Asked the other. The newborn Christian is the vintage. The newborn Christian is the vintage of the firmaments and fundamentals. What differentiates a tent maker from the much earlier architects who built the pyramids? That is easy to prescribe a possible answer there too, said the other. The pyramids are prototypically akin to the making of tents. They proceed by several I'm trying to I can get anybody have any questions? I'd be glad to answer any questions or converse with anybody. Or if anybody has anything, let's see now. Maybe we continue right here. Brevity coins a coral reefed ocean mother, drawing back from all ritual and orthodoxy, all their balsamic breezes would have elsewhere nor elsewise thrown the near and thwarting timbers into leafless paradox, effectuating dynamos driven locomotive, fading back from the rolling meadows into the brush thick wood, from whence it illuminates presence. A few or 3 hours previously was made known to the waxing incandescence, shrewing heterodoxic freighters across the perennial horseshoe moon. And coyotes were combing the sparse pine frills for a single scrap of living meal, their natural habitat all but gone. Vast of virtue lay aside the dreaming footsteps, crow-winged and coral reef possessed thereof, accepting in the eye of every tempest passing through. I slowly the next morning rose from whistling slumbers, the self-knowing vintage selling wine to be dregged of its bottled industry. Rolling there in a pond out of my horn of herald bed, I quickly addressed by that riffing outlaw graybeard switched from the chords to notes. Quicker than the kettle on the hob let loose from its pop-eyed spout, a locomotive dreamy Wednesday's work of a workaday drilling steam, and that ain't but the half of it. I was the deaf crow's hearing aid, reading John Milton in the piney tree shade, while rosary bees hung loose woe from the kettle drum prodigal son of the riding into town bandito, you see, and the seal and stamp of the sawbuck vamps, and when the boatswain all aboard his captain's dark boat, oh, nothing, I'll be ready for the hound dog sleigh to float my chords and notes via Viceroy, gray from the castle brick moat. Set your watch to a new time of day. Needles in the groove and a half-week's pay. The city man wants his Rob Roy Crow to see through the stained glass of drifting snow, and the boatswain's all aboard his Captain Doc boat. I'll be ready for the hound and sleigh to castle my moat. This is 1 4:15. Even when you're thieving, do it the three on the floor. The Ides of March dancing for the stair is easy for a touch when the cash will flow rivers unbeware. It was just about the right time of day when the preacher and his Bible, either night or day, kneeled in the well of the 3 flat stair to pray for the man who traveled too light until the first ray of morning light. Now I ease into laughter and weeping one and same. Nobody know me by any other name beside the cutting of the deck and the snow and rain. But what would you expect from a ham without a cane? So hook my hat, and my shoes, and coat by the Castle Moat pantry. The award is snowed to go to John Jim down there. I took those 2 very interesting images. The pantry alongside the kitchen where the cans and stuff are stocked for winter, the passing winter, and the stairwell where, people who really need help, that's maybe sometimes find their ways in from the cold. That's not, it's sad in the way from the cold to sleep the night through, because they have no place to live, no home. So, how many families don't have food or shelter? How many in a great country like ours don't have anything happening across the world? So this is the beginning of that, and this is now I gotta find. Let's see. Here's another one. Okay. Let's see if I can get it up. Yeah, I'm gonna try this. No, that doesn't fit my music. town. It's even farther than you know to the Gambatier show. And I have me some pickles in a rishing jar. I really don't think they get me too far or near the wishbone stare. When courage and fear are 1 and 2, won't you let me dance you at the barbecue? I got 2 dance man feet, and it's a 2:15 all around the street. It was raised up to adulthood, our stomach's always full. Now there are many less fortunate told, and we pray for the healing soul. And when your destiny come to you, dressed in juggernaut suede, take a dancer with the Mary Lou, drop the window shade. You're heavy on the sketching pad too, but on the brightest days for you. When the stainless steamer dream you back home, along the way I'll help you out. We'll figure out the hymnal, we'll pray, there's a horn, a herald, and a carol come along the way. Oh yeah, it's way over here. This one, these 2 I just wrote this morning. If we all went astray, farther from home, down the valleys where streams do flow in culminative lukewarm disarray, with Lord House stamp and seal upon grapes of the vineyard tangles, proverbial truths where we often do ramble, post the dog-eared psalms, salted new among pasture-wide farms, suiting new to explore after and before. Christ died and rose anew, with his apostle Thomas gone perhaps to mark sea, to market, sea or pasture near toward. Unless I place my hands on his side and look deep into his majestic eyes, look long into his majestic eyes, deep. And I'm obviously, what do you call that? Is dyslexic. I will never believe he's returned to walk among us all. As the tide does rise and fell to the ebb, it was our master, they one and all said. He'll cease the flow of the elderly blood with the touch of her hand upon his long train's robing garments. He'll draw a sack upon the blind, turn back the hands of doom from midnight's closing loom. Bring light to the darkest of nights and merciful kind. Anybody who wants to talk, the comments are right down here. I'd be glad to talk to anybody. They say, all right. Okay, now this I think is in order. A strange kind of order: linear, non-linear, retrolinear, labyrinthine. Anyway, here we go. I went to the sacred river to read the Psalter's hymns. The sky itself was quieter than I would dare tell. In the distance, I could hear with searching ears the passage bright beam through the storm's last eye. And the walking Lord mercy clouds knew more than well enough the hungry sighs rolling by the past that unified the Christly love revealed to one and all, within as well as without the human soul. Oh, so divine, leave us breathe ears to comb the rustic trees that leaf with each spring's notes and chords. Told Christ the lone notes, too infinitely new to the plaintive touch and cry. The torrents, new and old, I held back from my past, present, and future shelter by their creator. As each turn of trade that mentors me and shapes my new wove blade, each passing day is as well my shepherd, dove, and father. And all of us too. When another form of Asian time night permeates with web loose stars of icy flame and idolizing mantras lying cross palm of hand, I would sketch across these prose photograph pages a near line of day, the hours and minutes deep rooted within the which pressed against each path winding window pane of glass, and light illustrating breath into quick garden through the rolling fountain yard chaplets. I in my morning mind walk, shuffle hands in pockets, pass towards freedoms. Many roomed winged folds, heaping the holiest of grace at the tables, salting each passing beachfront, mirroring inroads of material wants, burst asunder, time and place emote the ebbing tide of proverb. Multitudinous roads to Damascus, as well and alike. These proceeding to prodigal homeland returns from false mentors and overturned marketplace table pretenses of industry, illegitimized calm proceeding wrath, ideals growing brighter with age instead of weaker, proving that the histrionic ale cyclics can be cast as a newly useful mental dye. I had useless here, but I don't see your purpose, I should say. The swords there within all of the above aforementioned are soon returned bloodless to the peace-thirsting sable sheets, with pen in hand, altruism seeking from ever-present mercy, heights and plateaus they bore, yet to reach unarmored. And if I were to dig up my own future grave with these very insane universal hands and shovel, would you be the time-walking star lighting my searches prose? Would you enter the gate and door of my conversation's hour of thirstiest introspect, stepping down from your pole-tethered horse of mule's canvas and ring-ribbed carriage? They say in the nearer two-hill country yonder that your waist-length hair is braided each next morning's earliest soul-illuminating night by sacred Beatrice, holy Ruth, and wide-winged Eve. And the coin pressing frontiersmen might have many passing elders had advised me in their pilgrimage cause. Then your father, living in a land of exile as well as high-towered skyline prayer. Argentina is written up by Blackman. The great Jorge Luis Borges was one. A pre-structured early 20th century New England. And of course, he was in Argentina. And his translations very profoundly deep, just as they must have been in the originals. It translates very, I don't see anything that's lost. They're very powerful, those writers. Who paint a darksome picture of luminous woe, never into man's multitude, the depths of that. The mythologies to realize treasure trove. Descriptions are always wanting toward the new awakening from mountain and valley whispering breeze. And a cat chapel by the door, by the tree of truth's acknowledge that fall upon these universal needs of countless monks by this window. The vintage is a sweetness, oh, a tarnish to go. The traveling poetess is never known by else but metaphor. In linguists new as they are old. The traveling poetess and her daughter. She can't relate to bitter bigotries. She wears a tilted crown and sandal. She's versed in long roads to adventure they won. Her name's road to freedom. Her metaphors exhaustive can be told. Mythologies are enshrouded by acid and flame. The trucks upon the age-old caves, and never called by name, and whirled upon her axis is looking back upon the very first sunrise, knowing well the passing hill. And I thank you all for tuning in. I hope you had a good time, and I had a blast myself. And I hope you have a great day, all of you. God bless, love, peace, joy, happiness. And I'll be back. I'll be back soon. And God bless all of you.